Was that a mouthful?
Yes.
That's turning on a fire hydrant, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I apologize again for our tardiness because that made Debbie go a little bit faster. But please, if you would, please hold your questions until the end. And just make note, and we'll have some notes back here, some paper, and we'll get it passed out as well so you can make do that. Our next speaker, Ms. Ann Newman, is an author and speaker on public policy issues. Her publications include Healthy Sex Education in Your School, a Parent's Manual, published by Focus on the Family, high school health textbooks, Hazardous to Your Children's Health, a report, The Sex Publishers, Your Children, the Target. She does candidate research for iVoter Guide and currently serves as the Director of Communications and Policy for the Trinity Legal Center. Please join with me in welcoming Ms. Ann Newman.
Thank you, Patrick. I want to invite anybody that doesn't have a seat to come up and have a seat. And if you want to sit up here, you can see the screen up here too. My PowerPoint will be on the screen there. I was excited last summer to be able to participate in the Republican State Convention. And we have 5 legislative priorities that were adopted, and one of those is pro-life. I was able to amend those, or that pro-life one, to prohibit the physical and digital presence in public schools. And I need the little clicker for the slide presentation. Oh, here it is, sorry. Okay. It's not working.
There it goes.
Oh, there it goes, okay. In previous sessions, the legislature has, and I don't speak as fast as Debbie, by the way, has defunded Planned Parenthood. Now, if we don't want them to have our tax dollars, we surely don't want them to have our children. And that's my goal this session, is to get a bill passed to prevent their physical and digital presence in public schools. Well, why? Planned Parenthood, it's not working. Anybody know how to do that? There we go. Planned Parenthood is the largest abortion provider in the country. It claims to be the largest provider of sex education. Planned Parenthood opposes parental consent laws. They testify against them when we've had them here at the Capitol. And they undermine the Texas law that requires the teaching of sexual abstinence until marriage. As the largest provider of sex education, Planned Parenthood programs, they claim in the report for 2016-17 to have reached 1.5 million people and 73 million visits. And you know some of that is our youth. A lot of it is our youth. And if you've ever seen anything or done searches on Planned Parenthood, it's pretty disgusting. Planned Parenthood's core mission, according to the Planned Parenthood president, is to provide, protect, and expand access to abortion. And she believes it's a fundamental right, a fundamental human right. Planned Parenthood provides contraception and condoms without parental knowledge or consent. It undermines parental rights and authority. It facilitates by giving condoms and pills and other devices to teenagers. It facilitates sex with a minor, which is against the law in Texas. And it ignores the law that prevents minors from consenting to sex. Planned Parenthood partners with the Gay, Lesbian, and Straight Educators Network. It uses graphic materials and it encourages high-risk behaviors with discussion of sexual attractions, experiences, and fantasies and desire. And it has been caught on video harvesting, or Planned Parenthood has been caught talking about harvesting aborted babies. Planned Parenthood also partners with SECUS, the Sex Information and Education Council of the United States. Here are some of the things that the SECUS K-12 guidelines call for. Intercourse and reproductive organs. This is for 5 to 8-year-olds. Gender, homosexuality, and same-sex relationships, masturbation, and sexually transmitted diseases. The leader of sex education recently said in a fundraising letter, sex education is a vehicle for social change. Planned Parenthood promotes homosexuality, transgender, and other non-traditional lifestyles. It focuses on sexual risk reduction instead of risk avoidance. In other words, if you're going to drive dangerously, wear your seatbelt. And that's what they're saying. They actually encourage child sex. Just use a condom, take a pill, or use some other form of contraception or protection. Planned Parenthood accepts teen sexual activity as normal and expected. It provides Planned Parenthood providing teacher training and sex education in the public schools creates a conflict of interest. Think about it. Would you like Coca-Cola doing diet and health for your children? No. It's worse when it's sex education. It creates and promotes a positive image for Planned Parenthood. It creates future customers, and it puts the state stamp of approval on Planned Parenthood. Live Action did a report called Aiding Abusers. Planned Parenthood covers up child sexual abuse when predators seek an abortion for victims, including victims of human trafficking. And they actually have caught them on video doing this. And Live Action says the tragedy of ignoring the abuse is often these victims are returned to their abusers to be repeatedly traumatized again and again. Planned Parenthood advice, this is on the internet, you can go look for yourself. Is oral sex safer sex? How can I use shear glide or dental dams to make oral sex safer? How can I have safer sex with my sex toys? How can I use lubricant for safer sex? And how does safer sex make sex feel better? They're a little bit confused. They have this term outercourse. Anything that's not intercourse is outercourse. And they promote it, but they're a little bit confused. The outercourse is other than other sexual activities besides vaginal sex, and sexual abstinence and outercourse can mean different things to different people. So they can't even define the term, so they certainly shouldn't be in the public schools. Planned Parenthood supports comprehensive sex education. When you think of that, think of everything, including the kitchen sink, that they put in to their sex education programs. A report recently came out that says comprehensive sex ed and relationship education has created in young people the expectation that they will have a series of casual sexual relationships. Think about that. I've been to a lot of their conferences. I used to go and sit in their conferences and listen. They think it's normal and expected that kids will have sex. Planned Parenthood, we want Planned Parenthood to be prohibited from being in public schools. Their instruction, curricula, counseling, and referrals, teacher training and resources. And we want the law to require sexual risk avoidance instruction, not sexual risk reduction. I'm begging you, those people who are here, to do something about this. I know there's several legislative offices here. If you will talk to your legislator, and we do have one of the legislators here, ask them to sponsor bills to keep Planned Parenthood out of schools. You're going to see some examples from that in just a few minutes. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Ann. Well, as you can see, a lot of work's gone into this and a lot of planning.